Hello and welcome to episode 73 of Miff's podcast. When I say pod, you say cast. Pod. Cast.
Pod.
Cast.
Podcast.
When I say Miffs, you say Miffs.
Podcast.
That's about as good as we're going to get.
Welcome to Miffs.
I'm Matt Huss.
And I'm Dan Rhodes. Whether you know about Theseus or you're revising your syllabus.
If you want tales with a bit of jest, or you just want to hear about incest.
What?
What? It's really interesting.
Welcome to Miffs. Welcome to Miffs.
Hello and welcome back, dear listener. It's great to have you here on the third installment of the Aeneid, of our final saga into the Greco-Roman canon. But I'm here with my lovely little co-presenter, Mr. Daniel Rhodes. How are you?
I'm good, Matt. Thank you for having me once again on this fine podcast.
It's a good one, it's all mine podcast. You have nothing to do with it, and legally, that's correct. So, Dan, what's your favourite thing about this podcast?
Probably the bit where we talk about myths.
Oh yeah, the bit. That's what genuinely everyone signs up for, but no one really
Gets.
Yeah. Because there's some episodes, as you've listened to in the past, dear listener, is that we have forgot we were doing a podcast at some points, but Dan, let's not talk about podcasts. Let's podcast you. Dan, you went to Morocco recently.
I did go to Morocco recently.
When did you go? Why did you go? And what was your favourite thing about it?
When did I go? Literally a week ago.
Yes.
Why did I go? For work.
No, but so this is an interesting thing I wanted to pick up. You went for work, so does that mean that they paid for everything?
They did pay for everything.
Oh.
I had to pay for a few little things that I tried to haggle in the Agadir suit. I went to Agadir. Everyone does that.
Pulpit. Do they?
Not the song, is it?
No.
It's Agadu in the song.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to add a little bit of flavour to the podcast, and just trying to be original. Does everyone else generally do that?
Yeah. Every time I told someone I was going to Agadir, they said Agadir. Oh wait, no, wrong song. People realise halfway through.
I thought I was an award-winning comedian, but I'm actually...
You are an award-winning comedian.
Just not a very good one.
Yeah. I went for... It was kind of for work, but also it was kind of like It was technically work, but it's a familiarisation trip, so it's also kind of fun.
What was the purpose of you going over there?
The Moroccan Tourism Board was showing us around Agadir to show us different resorts that we could possibly sell to customers.
That's pretty cool. So
yeah, pretty good.
It's what's good about your job is that you get to... It's like your research that I best go on the beach holiday for 2 weeks, I guess, just to check it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
I just went for a few days, but it was very nice. Terrible weather here.
Yes, yeah, it's been very rainy and wet,
and it was nice to get away and enjoy the sunshine, lollipops and...
They also didn't do that.
Oh, sorry, no, I didn't do that. But no, it was good. I've never been to Morocco before.
But what kind of holiday what did they show you? Whereabouts did they show you? Did you go to different places? Whereabouts did they
Went
take
to
you?
different resorts.
Because it was the tourism board themselves, like Moroccan officials.
It was.
That's really cool.
It was pretty good when we arrived in the airport, actually. We basically VIPs the whole time. Mm-hmm. We arrived at the airport. Before we'd even got to customs, there was a man standing on the tarmac of the plane with an iPad that had all our names on it.
Yeah. But I see... Well,
Sorry, on the screen. It's not like individual iPads with our names
on. That would be... but let's think of it like this, though. Fair enough, there's a person from the Moroccan Tourism Board trying to treat like a VIP. However, how many Miffs fans were there with also identical boards? Were they like... Dan, we love you.
I met 7.
Yeah, did you?
On the plane. Yeah, 7 people on the plane.
That's quite low. Usually I'm swathed in them, you know. They're people... I can't breathe for Miss fans, really. Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah. On the way there, the cabin crew did like a safety announcement, and I assume that was for me because they were so worried about my safety.
Yeah, it was like...
As fans of Miffs, that they wanted to keep me safe.
They added an addendum. It's like, usually we say, don't pull your oxygen mask before helping others, but help this man.
Help this man before helping others.
Sacrifice yourself for this man. Yeah, we're definitely building a cult, literally a cult following at the moment.
But no, it was good. We arrived. Man with the iPad. It was very Moroccan.
What was the man with the iPad called? Was he like a personal butler?
if you let me finish.
Sorry.
A man arrived with an iPad, and then I got off the steps, and then it was very Moroccan because he, we noticed that, like, oh, that's our names, and we went up to him and said, hey, that's us. And then he was like, good, come with me. And then he'd take us to this room, and then the minute we got to that room, another guy who was, now this guy was like, we don't know who this guy was with the iPad. I think he was like airport staff.
Yeah.
Then another man who was airport staff came up to us and like started telling us to go a different direction. And the guy that we were with was like, no, don't listen to him, come with me. And then another security officer came and obviously saw that there was a group of us. And then he wanted to get in on the action and he started telling us to come a different way. And basically we were trying to be like funneled through like airport security by like 3 different people. One guy wanted us to go this way. One guy was trying to get us to fill out these visa forms. Another guy was saying, oh, don't worry, you guys are special guests, you don't need to fill out a visa form. We were like, well, I think we still need to get a visa. That doesn't seem right. But basically,
oh my God.
Without being derogatory, it was basically very messy. A lot of people obviously saw that we were a group of like important people in that moment, and were like, oh, I'm going to get in on this, and then it was a bit annoying actually. It was quite frustrating, and unfortunately the holiday did kind of continue in that vein for a little bit.
Oh, really? Yeah. It was very much like people being too excited. Like, imagine like if I was on a date with a girl and I was overexcited, like, oh my God, I can take you to this restaurant or this restaurant or this one.
Well, that's basically what it was like. Like we had the driver and the person that we were with, Samira. Shout out, she probably doesn't listen.
She's a massive fan.
Yeah. She was the woman from the tourism board that was taking us around, and she was really lovely and very good. But she was very, we had an itinerary we had to kind of stick to, and she was like, we're going to go here, 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 and here this day, and then the next day we're going to do this, 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 and this, and we got our itineraries. But everywhere we went, people like to, especially hotel staff when we went to somewhere, like she'd be like, right, we're going to go see this, but then an unknown staff member who had nothing to do with our party. Yeah. Would be like, no, come on, you do this now, let's go over here. And everyone's like, no. No.
I like how many chances there are as well. It's like, no, you come to do my thing now. It's like, no, just... Yeah, I don't know. I think it's quite... It smells a little bit desperate as well. And that's definitely...
Well, it was weird at the airport because the guy with the iPad, he was the person who was in charge of taking us through the airport. It was just annoying that all of the airport staff also kept trying to just random people like in uniforms kept arriving, trying to be like, hello, come through this way of the airport, and we were like, no, I'm trying to go this way.
My favourite thing about that is it kind of sounds like you're in like a labyrinth situation. It's like, no, come this way, come this way, and it's just like it's like, how big is this airport?
There was like 13 of us, and we were basically like, well, I think we're just gonna stick with this guy and just ignore everyone else.
Okay.
But I did have a very good time.
So what kind of stuff did you do? What things did you see? Cultural things?
We didn't really see much cultural things. We literally just went around different resorts.
So, so you went...
Got to hang out on the beach, chill by the pool.
Your job was to go from beach to hotel and 5-star resorts, those kind of things?
Yeah, we did one in the we do one in the morning, in the afternoon, have lunch. Then we go to another place for the rest of the day, and then another place for dinner. So we do 3 a day.
It's kind of like organised relaxation, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Like, you've got 3 hours here, and then they showed us around the different facilities and rooms and stuff. It was very good. Did also see Agadir itself, the city of Agadir.
But you mentioned you're not really much of a beach holiday kind of person, right?
No.
But did you enjoy relaxing?
I did enjoy relaxing, and I tell you why, because it was relaxing, and then we're going to get up and go somewhere else. Yeah. So it did kind of suit me.
There was
if we'd have just stayed in one place for 4 days, I'd have been really annoyed.
Yeah.
But we didn't. So my relaxing was also getting to look at and experience a new place. So it was kind of nice.
Okay. Yeah. And what was one thing you? So have you come away with Morocco with more of a could you sell it more?
I do think I could sell Agadir more, yeah.
Pretend I'm a customer at Flight Centre. I walked in and you have to try and sell me Morocco, okay? Hello, could I have a holiday, please? I don't know how... I haven't been...
Yeah, where do you want to go?
Morocco.
Great. Have you been to Agadir before?
No.
It's really good.
But 10 tickets, please.
Easy peasy.
I'll try it again, but be harder, okay?
Okay.
Oh, I want to go to... Thailand, please. Change my mind.
Have you ever been to Thailand before?
No.
Yeah, well, the thing with Thailand is it's really dangerous. particularly if you're from Yorkshire, because there's. Have you not read? If you go on the Foreign Commonwealth Office website, Thai people are really racist towards people from Yorkshire. So I wouldn't advise that.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm sorry, sir, to just assume that you are from Yorkshire, but you.
Bargum.
Your eyes are very close together. Yeah, I think actually, are you going just for sun-seeing relaxation?
Yeah. I think that, and you know what else?
Yeah, I've got two places in mind. The first one would be Morocco. Agadir is very nice on the coast. Really sunny. I'm actually just come back from there myself with work. It was really, really good. I think.
Agadir sounds nice. Yeah.
And the other place would be Somalia. Very similar, but a little bit more adventurous.
10 tickets, please, to Somalia. Okay.
Easy peasy.
What other tourism boards would you like people to try and take you to? Like, if you had like that kind of VIP experience again, but also organised fun, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Which other country would you like someone to take you to, which you haven't been to before?
I'd like someone to take me around the Silk Road.
What's that?
The Silk Road.
What's that?
The Silk Road is like the Central Asia, like the stands.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Like,
Okay. Yeah.
Iran, Georgia, Uzbekistan.
I like how you said
Kyrgyzstan,
that. Like the Silk Road.
Azerbaijan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan.
Yeah, dude, that's really good. I think you said Kazakhstan twice.
Probably.
But, I like how you just assumed that the Silk Road, everyone knew what that was.
I think most people know what the Silk Road is.
Okay, if you know what the Silk Road is, I want you to tweet in at Miffs podcast saying, I know what the Silk Road is.
But most people know it from that Joanna Lumley documentary she did.
What the fuck? Like, what Joanna Lumley documentary? No, not everyone listening. I think the Venn diagram between Miffs podcast and Joanna Lumley documentaries is quite a...
Do you know in the travel industry there is actually something called the Joanna Lumley effect? Which is that every time there's a travel documentary by Joanna Lumley, because she's been doing a lot of them recently, a bunch of old people will book a place to that. It's really common. Like, so the Silk Road, for example, Uzbekistan, had huge amounts of tourism after that, because like just everyone over the age of 60 who watched this Joanna Lumley show was like, well, I want to go to Uzbekistan now.
Sounds a bit like King Midas.
Oh, Joanna Lumley!
I like that because the podcast viewers and listeners didn't see that, but Dan just touched his crotch in a very vulgar manner as well. That being said, also my flies are undone. There you go. Nice. Sorry.
Should we crack on with a myth?
Yeah, sorry, I forgot. Just catching up at that point, but yeah.
What were you doing? Like, in one sentence, describe what you were doing whilst I was in Morocco.
I think I should save it for next week's podcast.
Nice.
I'll sum it up in one word. The thing is, this isn't correct, but my brain was like, say pussy. No. One word. Enjoyment.
Nice. I've got a cough, and I think I'm going to use that violent cough to segue into the next episode.
Yeah, just that's our jingle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that clip and put music behind it as well, and be like... Oh, good.
I'm excited to see what you're going to do with that.
Yeah. I mean...
See you on the other side.
My good friend Daniel, are you ready for another myth?
I am. Part 3 of the Aeneid.
When I say myth, you say podcast. Give us 5 stars on iTunes, please. Myth.
Tunes.
Cool. So we are doing part 3 of the Aeneid.
Oh dear, I said the wrong one.
I was going to say Odyssey. I was like, no, that's the incorrect one. I'll say the Iliad instead. Shame on me. I actually did the Aeneid as both my year 12, year 13 exam, but also in classics, and also my third year module as well. Fun fact.
You're basically an expert, aren't you?
Essentially, yeah. And I actually asked my old tutor called Dr. Anne Alvis, who is amazing. I asked her to come on this podcast as a guest and like to talk us through the Aeneid, but she politely declined. Because we could have been taught by a genuine expert then.
Yeah.
Can
you imagine how crazy that would have been if the listeners of this podcast actually got an actual expert
an
voice.
Academic person who has studied a lot about it to come on and tell them facts. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, why don't you talk about the buttholes for a bit? Maybe we should, I think that'd be good. We should, honestly, I might email her, see if she's up for it. She's probably free.
Probably. I can't imagine she's
Do you
got a lot
fancy
on.
doing that? That'd be quite good.
Yeah.
It's a bonus episode. It'd be good.
Yes. What happened last time, Matt?
Good question. So, our faithful little Aeneas crashed his ship on the island near Carthage, and basically he was taken in by the lovely Dido, with the help from his mum as well, Venus. They had a banquet, etc., and Dido, she falls in love with Aeneas, and she asks him, why don't you tell us the stories of the past 7 years?
Like, where have you come from?
Where have you gone? Where you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Joe, yeah.
But then Aeneas tells the story of the war in Troy and the sacking of Troy, but from the Trojans' perspective. And he goes out fighting, he kills a bunch of guys, then remembers his family, helps them, but then forgets his wife behind. And what happens now is them going on from their journey, and what
They're
happens...
escaping from Troy. It's being sacked, pillaged, ravaged, burned.
Demised? Destroyed?
Obliterated. Other words?
Subjugated. Yeah, nice. Okay, are you ready to rock?
I am ready to rock. So,
the Trojans build a fleet, unsure where the fates would lead them. In early summer, they set off, bringing their household gods. We mentioned these before. Do you know what the household gods are?
No.
They're kind of like little figurines that represent the gods.
Oh, like the ones in Gladiator that he kisses before he goes to bed.
I imagine so, yes. I don't think I've seen Gladiator as an adult. Okay. Aeneas directs the fleet to Thrace, a land friendly to Troy. Aeneas lands and prepares to sacrifice a steer. What's a steer?
It's a type of deer, I think. No.
Maybe it's a stag and a deer hybrid. Maybe it's a... You know what I mean?
Yeah, or is a steer like a cow? Oh, that's a heifer. Maybe it's a type of cow. He sacrifices something.
He sacrifices a stag deer, but when he uproots a plant to shade the altar, the stem bleeds. Frightened, he pulls up another plant, which also bleeds. He prays and pulls up a third plant, which groans and speaks, introducing itself as Polydorus. So a plant speaks to him.
So he's realised these plants are alive.
Yes.
And he's ripped the third one out and he's gone, "Help me!"
Hello, I'm Polydorus. How's it going, Paul? You right? Polydorus explains that Priam sent him to Thrace so that he would be safe if Troy had lost the war. Polydorus also brought gold to secure his protection, but as Troy fell, the Thracian king killed him and took all of his gold. The spears that struck Polydorus became the plants Aeneas uprooted. Quite awkward, isn't it?
It is.
Aeneas gave Polydorus a proper funeral before setting sail again. Now, if you thought that was quite weird, and bear in mind we're going to be marking this myth on WTF, this is pretty much the rest of this book, this chapter as well. Pretty messy, right? Imagine if you pulled it up and you pulled up like a daffodil and it started bleeding profusely. That's really fucked up, isn't it?
It is. And it started talking to you.
Yeah, exactly. And what would you talk to a plant about?
I'd probably talk about, I'd probably ask what it's like to photosynthesize.
Yeah, okay. Let's ask the top 3 questions to ask a plant, okay? What's it feel like to photosynthesize? Do you mind getting pissed on by dogs?
Yeah. And what's it like to get sucked off by a bee regularly?
I know a beekeeper, so we can find out. So, yeah, if you're a plant and know the answer to these questions, email in at miffpodcast.com, gmail.com. The Trojans then sailed to an island called Ortygia, blessed by Apollo, to a city ruled by Aeneas. He is that's spelled Aenius, which is an I away from Aeneas. He's a friend of Anchises. Aeneas goes to pray for guidance from Apollo. Apollo speaks to him, telling him to find the land of his forefathers and return to his, quote, ancient mother, where Aeneas' descendants would rule the world. Okay, so there's a lot going on there. Firstly, have you seen Ortygia before? Because I remember its name.
Yeah, no, we've come across it. We've come across Anchises as well.
Well, Anchises is Aeneas' father.
Oh, okay, that's why.
So, and also in this you'll see it later on, but Anchises is kind of even though Aeneas is technically in charge, Anchises, because he's wiser, he's kind of telling everyone what to do, how to behave, and he's the proper leader at the moment. Yeah. So also, do you remember last time at the end of book 2 where he sees his wife and she gives him some kind of farewell messages as well because she dies?
Yeah.
Do you remember what kind of thing she said?
No.
Basically, she was saying, "Oh, you are prophesied to do these great things." So
this is when he runs back into Troy to try and save her and finds out she's already a ghost.
Yes, like instant ghost, bam.
Yeah.
However, essentially, Aeneas is getting all these prophecies to say that you've got like a destiny as well, so go and follow it. So he needs to find the land of his forefathers. The men attempt to interpret Apollo's instructions. Anchises believed that this ancient homeland to be nearby the island of Crete.
Nice.
Who lives on Crete?
What's her face? Theseus.
Well, he didn't. No, he lives.
Minos.
Yeah. After sacrificing animals to Apollo, Neptune, the god of the sea, and the winds, the Trojans head off for Crete. But, strangely, they find Crete in the grip of an intense drought, rife with death and disease. That's not like the Crete we know, is it?
No, it's not.
What do you reckon King Minos would have to say about his disease and death?
Well, he's probably really thirsty by the sounds of it.
Can you do King Minos with a really dry voice?
Help me! I'm so thirsty! Oh, goodness gracious! A man approaches the shore. Hopefully he will be our savior and give us many waters. I'm so thirsty, help me, please!
You know what? That was impeccable. That was really good.
Okay.
And also, it was so dry, that voice, that I've had to drink water throughout that as well, just to dry myself off. So they didn't stop there, obviously, and they've got their interpretation wrong. So Anchises wants to return to Ortygia to consult with Apollo again, but that evening the household gods appear to Aeneas in a dream and tell him that their homeland is actually the distant Italy. Aeneas recounts this to Anchises, who recalls that Cassandra once said the same thing. And obviously with Cassandra, she tells the truth.
But no one believes her.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to go from here?
Mm-hmm. The Trojans set sail again, but a storm forces them off course, and they wander for 3 days before landing at the Strophiades Islands, which is the home of the Harpies.
Sorry. Do you know who the Harpies are?
Yeah, they're monsters with women's faces and filthy bird bodies.
Okay, I knew you were going to do that, because I saw the description there. I thought, I'm not going to fall for this time, but I did ask a question before.
No, I actually do know about the Harpies, because they were in the Oresteia.
Yes! Yeah.
God, I'm so good.
Yeah, and what do they do in Oresteia?
They follow Orestes around, do they not?
Well, technically, actually, I think
Don't they kill someone?
The Furies are slightly different from Harpies, but they're essentially the same.
I'm thinking of the Furies, but they're the same thing, but that was in the Greek version.
The thing is, I think the main difference is, because I mentioned about one of my modules in classics. The only time for my whole university degree I did an exam was I did Monsters of Rome, and I started writing an exam about the Furies, but I realised halfway through that it was talking about the Harpies. I was like, fuck. So it's an easy mistake to make. I think we got 62, so happy with that. That's fine.
Is it basically the Harpies are the Roman version of the Furies, but they're a little bit different?
No, they are different. I think Harpies are more filthy, kind of gross creatures. They're like rats of the sky,
Okay.
but they're still women with birdie bodies. However, I think the Furies are more judgmental.
The Furies were more like supernatural.
Supernatural, yes, and also, I think it's more of a transcendental thing. They judge you for your actions and morality, where Harpies are just feral kind of creatures, and they smell, they're awful. And
I think about the monkey things that fly around in The Wizard of Oz.
That's a really good description, actually. It's not bad, but yeah, think of them kind of as gross, like pigeons with tits. That's
The men make a feast with the goats and oxen they find on the island. When the Harpies come screaming down from the hills and destroy their food, the Trojans try to fight back, but fail. Salono?
Wait, what? Kaleno.
Kaleno, head Harpy, scolds the men for stealing the Harpies' animals and trying to fight them off their own territory.
Can you do an impression, please?
Of the Harpies?
Yeah, Kaleno.
It's going to sound a lot like King Minos. Wait, let me think about this.
Oh, do you want to give it a go?
Kit! Yeah.
Why do you take...
It's some King Minos, isn't it? Just
maybe,
King Minos.
Maybe King Minos is half Harpy.
He's half Harpy. I think his mother was a Harpy.
I'll try and be Kayla now.
I stopped.
Yeah, it's not working.
Yeah. Get off my food.
Yeah, because they're supposed to be intense creatures and very grim.
No, they're like disgusting, like...
Get off my food.
That's the same thing. That's the same gesture you made towards Rowan on Lumber documentaries. But also, it's supposed to be like if they scratched you, you get like dirt in your skin, that kind of stuff. It's
They're like really feral, disgusting.
Yeah,
like
and they
greasy.
smell. Yeah, and it's like sleeping with me.
She reveals their Then she reveals their future misfortune. They won't manage to establish their city in Italy before they undergo a famine so great that they will try to eat their tables. Anchises begs the gods not to bring such trouble to the pious Trojans.
Okay, now this is a major part of the Aeneid, because they say
The Harpies are saying, "Oi, what are you doing bouncing from island to island? Now you've ended up here, you're eating all our food, you then try to fight us with these disgusting creatures, piss off. Also, FYI, what are you even trying to do? You're never going to succeed. You're going to have a massive famine before you even do anything."
Yeah, that's before they establish their city, they will undergo a famine, and the liners, they will have to eat their tables as well. And it's quite a weird thing to say, but
they're going to be so hungry that they're going to start eating their furniture.
Absolutely, yeah. That's the vibe. However, it's quite an underwhelming prophecy, but it's technically true. And there's a good old... They all have a nice laugh about it afterwards.
The Trojans sail on to Actium, where they enjoy themselves with games and wrestling, happy to have sailed unnoticed past Greek territory. Aeneas leaves a shield he took from a Greek he fought as a symbol that he hasn't been defeated. Oh, here we go. Winter is coming. And as they continue to Buthrotum...
That's good.
That's a weird place name, isn't it? Buthrotum.
Sounds like Button.
Yeah, where Piraeus' former kingdom is now under the rule of the Trojan siblings, Helenus and Andromache.
Okay, so who's Pyrrhus?
Pyrrhus is...
Met him last episode?
Yeah, I can't remember.
He is
is he the one that goes like mental and murders everyone?
Yeah, he's Achilles' son, and he's very angry and evil as well. But do you know who Andromache is?
Andromache used to be Hector's wife.
Yes. Is that because you read below?
No.
You're such an awful person. Why would you... Like, I'm just trying to add a bit more flair to the podcast.
And Helenus is her sibling.
God damn it. I hate you so much.
Andromache, Hector's widow, is so shocked to see Aeneas that at first she thinks he might be a ghost.
Okay, and
which isn't beyond the realms in this fantasy, because ghosts do just appear.
Yeah, they appear quite a lot for Aeneas as well. Like, some might say, it's a lazy narrative, Virgil. Carry on.
Andromache, Hector's widow, is so shocked to see Aeneas that at first she thinks he might be a ghost. Andromache explains that she was the slave of Pyrrhus, the evil Greek who killed Priam. He dragged his entrails through his...
Yes.
Until another Greek killed him, after which Helenus inherited some of his territory. She asks after Ascanius, and Helenus leads everyone to the city, which resembles a smaller Troy. So they just rebuilt Troy on this guy's island.
It's kind of like Troy 2.
Troy 2. New Troy.
New Troy.
Little Troy.
Detroit. But not bad, isn't it?
Not bad,
yeah. Basically, I think there's supposed to be like a kind of karmic rebalancing there. So even when someone's evil, the Trojans have their own back in a small way as well. So who's Ascanius again?
Ascanius is a dude in the Aeneid.
That is correct. Very, very technically. But who else is he? Since you saw Billy Big Bollocks on
Is
Aeneas
Ascanius the guy that he helps leave Troy with?
No. Well, no, not technically.
I don't know.
And Ascanius is Aeneas' son.
Aeneas' son, of course.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I can't believe you knew Andromache and Helenus, but not because there's no description of the
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
Before leaving, Aeneas asks Helenus what the future holds and how he can avoid Kaleno and the Harpies' prediction of famine. How comes every island they go to, they're just asking people what their future is? Like, they know.
Yeah, I guess it's more like trying to build suspense for later on, but...
Helenus describes how to reach Italy and mentions that Aeneas must first descend to the underworld.
Dun dun dun! Who else has been to the underworld, Dan?
Loads of people. When Aeneas finds a white sow and piglets under an oak tree, he will have reached his final destination. The famine will not be a problem, Aeneas says, but he counsels Aeneas to avoid certain unfriendly cities and to make sure to avoid the hazardous waters near Charybdis and a whirlpool off the coast of Sicily, the Scylla, a monster that lurks near Charybdis and has the head of a woman and the body of a dolphin or whale. Helenus recommends praying to Juno and visiting the Sibyl of Cumaea.
Okay, a lot going on there.
Charybdis is a little bit different in this one compared to the Odyssey.
Yeah, because in all fairness...
The head of a woman and the body of a dolphin or whale. I swear in the Odyssey, when Odysseus and his men got torn to shreds by Charybdis, it was like a multi-headed monster that came out of the sea.
Yeah, so the thing is with Scylla and Charybdis, they change a lot through, especially in Roman times, they changed. They had a lot more folklore to them as well. So they were... At one point, Scylla was like a beautiful princess as well, but then she turned into like
a whirlpool.
She went through metamorphosis and she kind of turned into these different things. I've never remembered her having Charybdis as having the head of a woman, and the body of a dolphin, because that'd be a weird thing. Oh, it was even worse: a head of a woman and the body of a whale. That's imagine that though.
What would that even look like?
Imagine just Free Willy just being like, hello. You know?
Doesn't sound very terrifying, does it?
No, it's not terrifying, but certainly, like, if you went on a date with someone on Tinder and then the body of a whale showed up and like a manatee arms, just kind of flippers and stuff like that, and just be like, hi, I'm Tracy, how's it going? Weird, wouldn't it?
Would be weird.
Just trying to add some flavour to the podcast. But yeah, I think Scylla is actually one of the most interesting monsters there are, because she changes so much and she has different versions of herself as well. She's quite a bit, you remember when we talked about Polyphemus, the Cyclops in Odysseus?
Yeah.
Like, he changes a lot his character throughout different
stories.
Yeah. So I think that Scylla is one of those people, and Virgil's put his own twist on it there. Do you want me to finish off?
Yeah.
Helenus and Andromache give presents to the men, and Aeneas, sorry to depart, thanks them and says he hopes that his future city will be united with theirs. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Again, there's a lot of this kind of thing in the future where Virgil's linking stuff, his contemporary, his modern day, to the Virgil. Okay. So he's building like a mythological past to things.
Yeah, a mythological history of how things happen.
Yeah, and there's a reason why he's at Carthage as well, which I think I mentioned in the past. But we'll get into that next episode anyway. So he leaves. The Trojans head north and camp briefly, but set off again at night when Palinurus, the navigator, can see the constellations by which he guides their route. Soon the Trojans come within sight of Italy, where they see 4 peaceful white horses near the shore, and the men rejoice. They see Mount Etna in the distance, and then row furiously to escape the pull of Charybdis. They drift to the island of the Cyclops. Ooh. We just mentioned that. I forgot he went to see him. So, when they arrive, a Greek man, Achaemenides, dirty and ragged, begs the Trojans to take him away from the island. He describes the bloodthirsty Cyclops and how Ulysses, Odysseus, blinded him. So he's following in the footsteps of Odysseus right here.
Yeah.
As is many other things like Charybdis as well.
It's obviously like a laid out geography. It's obviously like the route you have to take. Yeah.
Kind of like danger adventure path as well. Yeah. But also I think Charybdis came before came after the Cyclops, if I remember correctly, but who knows? Too long ago. You could listen to the other podcast. So, this man asks him for help. He describes how Ulysses blinded him. Achaemenides was left behind when the Greeks departed and survived by hiding. Now, it's quite...
Yeah, because Odysseus and his men basically just, like, tried to blind the Cyclops and sprinted to their boats and were like, bye!
Yeah.
And they did leave some people behind.
I don't think... Well, that's the thing. Odysseus never mentioned that. Ulysses never mentioned that. But it's quite funny because he's telling that tale at dinner as well. He didn't mention that part, did you, Odysseus, you little prick? It's nice that Virgil adds an extra layer to stuff as well. The Trojans take him aboard, despite him being a Greek. As well as they sail away, the Cyclops hears them splashing and chases them, though they manage to reach the deep waters and escape. Whew. I think he shouts as well.
So he's like seeing them off the shore and he's like,
well,
what did he sound like again?
we're not seeing them because he's blind.
Oh, he's blind, yeah.
But 3, 4, 5 from I hear a man with a conundrum.
Nice.
Did I smash that?
Yeah, nailed it.
I don't think you're proud of me.
It's almost as good as my Atlas rap.
Yes. Can you try that now? Try it. You got...
Fee, fi, fo, fum. I hear the splashing of a Trojan man.
Yes. It's half right.
Half
I'll
right.
accept it.
Half right.
The winds blow the Trojans, towards Scylla and Charybdis, but a fortunate north wind blows them away from danger. They pass many lands. So basically they're going through Odysseus' old route. But also, I like it because Aeneas is not getting through by his good wits, his charm, or his cunning abilities. Yeah. He's getting through because his mum's Venus, and very much he's getting a free pass through everything as well. Like, he is the face of nepotism.
Yes.
At Drapenum, Sicily, unfortunately, Aeneas' father, Anchises, dies. Aeneas mourns that his father survived such a great risk to only die. Aeneas then sadly remarks that neither Helenus nor Celaeno warned him of his father's coming death. Finally, Aeneas has finished telling the story, and the Aeneid returns to Dido's court at Carthage.
So now we're back to present day.
Yes, well, present day in the story as well. Anchises dies at the end.
Oh, sad. Being old.
Yeah, he actually died from doing too much drugs and fucking loads of goats on Goat Island as well.
Nice.
So it's sad times, but that's the end of this myth. Time to rank it.
Hey there, my name's Matt Huss, and in this link I have an American accent, and I advocate the safe use of Miff's podcasts in small doses.
So what do you think, Dan? What do you think?
It was very interesting, actually. I feel like it was essentially the Odyssey, but in like 5% of the time.
Yeah,
they didn't elaborate on much. They didn't elaborate on the monsters. They didn't really elaborate much on the... It was just like, they did this, then they did this. But luckily, we were already on the Odyssey, so we actually know quite a bit. We can imagine what that must have been like. Yeah,
in all fairness, I think it was supposed to be a homage to it. And I think there's more in the books, obviously. But, check out this line. For the Cyclops... This huge cavern is his home, deep and dark and filled with the gore of his feast. See, there's poetry there, it's nice. But I think there's more, it's more of a crash course visit through it, and more of like, it's more of a reference as well. It's like a callback, that's what it is, but there's nothing too substantial there.
Yeah.
There's no individual story. But that, I think that's the last time it gets, it's very Odysseus-y here. There's another part where it gets very Odysseus, but that's very much the height of like, the Odyssey there, if you know what I mean. But yeah, that's. Are you enjoying the Aeneid so far?
I'm enjoying the Aeneid so far. I am a bit worried that it is a bit samey though. It is very similar to the Odyssey.
It is now, but it does take its own.
Okay.
Especially in the next episode.
It does take its own course.
The next episode, very much so, I'd say. Okay. So we usually rank this on a scale of 1 to 40. Actually, 0 to 40.
Let me get mine.
Yeah, and so we usually rank this on a scale of 0 to 40 on 10 categories. 4 categories on the scale of 1 to 10. We have life skills, practical things we learnt, morals, the ethical things we have endured. We've also learnt creativity, the creative things, and also the WTF factor, stuff that makes us go, what the actual F? Okay, so life skills, Dan.
Life skills, Matt. I think we've got a few Got a few things here, haven't we?
We've learnt how to sail from city to city.
We've learned how to sail. Yeah, how to sail.
We learnt how to escape a cyclops.
Yeah, we learned how to eat goats and a hunt.
Yes. We learnt what a steer was.
Did we?
No, but we learnt how to hunt one.
Yep.
We learnt don't pull plants.
Yeah, we learned that. Yeah, that's true.
Well, we learnt how to cultivate our own garden.
Yeah.
We learnt how to plan, learn how to steer a ship by the constellations at night. Polymeris.
We learned that you can just keep asking people what your future holds until you get an answer you're happy with.
Yep. We learnt that harpies aren't furies.
No.
That's more of a creativity thing, I guess. We also learnt how to row fast against whirlpools.
Yep.
We also learnt...
We learned geography.
Yes, really good geography, actually. We also learnt who Aeneas was, not Andromache. That was a joke.
We learned that old people die.
Yeah. That's a good one to know. We also learnt how to have food for free by stealing it from harpies. We also learned how to pray a lot.
Pray a lot, yeah.
It's quite pious. Anything else? I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think I'm going to say quite substantial 7. What do you think?
That was a lot. I'm willing to give it a 7, actually. I'll give you that. Morals. Not heavy, I don't think.
Well, let's think about it. Don't be a talking plant. Don't pull plants up unnecessarily.
Yeah.
I think there's mini morals.
Don't steal someone's food and then try and kick
Yeah.
them off. Poor harpies.
Yeah, and don't stress about prophecies because they might not come. Well, they will come true, but it might not be as severe as you think.
Yeah.
We learnt how to, how to not interpret the it's how to interpret God's will, if you know what I mean. What do they mean? You're maybe right here. There doesn't seem too much. I guess harpies is stuff like that. Also being good guests and having a mini Troy. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Dan. There's not that much here. It's very... I guess don't disturb the Cyclops. Oh, they do take in the Greek guy.
Oh, they do, actually. That's true, yeah.
That's got some points there.
Aeneid.
Aeneid, nice name. I guess, yeah. It's very slapdash.
It's a 4.
I'd make 3. I'd say.
You know what? I'm not even going to argue with you. It's pretty bad. I was just being nice.
Oh, well, yeah. I think 3 is fair because there's not that much else. I think Aeneid gets 3 of those points.
Okay,
really.
yeah. Creativity, pretty creative.
I like it's both a homage but also puts its own twist on things.
Yeah.
Virgil does a nice thing of with Aeneid mentioning how Odysseus left a man behind by accident as well. So he adds an extra layer to these stories that we already love and know as well.
Yep.
So I think that's major creativity points there. We have a mixture of gods and monsters and deaths and but it wasn't gory though, was it? Everyone kind of got away scot-free apart from Anchises, who died very abruptly at the end.
Yeah, I would say...
Also, we see people like Pyrrhus die and get their upcomings. We see Andromache and the new Troy. We also see harpies in action as well. But also harpies not being feral, but also having a society like Kale now being the head harpy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's true actually. All the different islands, all the different prophecies, all the different characters we've met.
And in a single episode as well, there's a lot. They travelled a lot, they saw a lot. This is 7 years worth in a single episode. That's pretty good. Yeah, I think... What number are you thinking, Dan?
Like an 8?
Oh, also, Crete being droughted as well.
Yeah, that's true. Probably like an 8 or 9.
My head is saying 8, but my heart's saying 9.
I think realistically it is an 8 though, because it was a bit slapdash in parts.
Yeah, but what it lost in substance, like in morals, but I think it makes it with creativity because there's a lot happening.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, one of those Aeneid books covers about 6 Odysseus.
Yeah, that's true. Odyssey books.
I'm going to push for 9.
Go on, let's give it a 9.
Yeah.
WTF. Plants being alive.
That's weird. And also talking to them as well.
Talking to them.
And
The harpies are weird.
and also gross. They're grim. They're really grim. Like
Yeah.
filthy talons, smell like shit. There's droppings everywhere.
Yeah, what else is messed up? Oh, them getting told that they're going to have a famine. They're probably going to end up eating their furniture. It's pretty weird.
In case he's dying suddenly. Also the fact that Pyrrhus making Andromache a slave as well.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up.
They never agreed killing him, but they don't mention why.
No, they don't mention how or why.
I think it's decent. It's substantial. We have monsters there.
We did have monsters,
but no gore in this. Surprisingly, apart from a little bit of.
Yeah, there was no like messed up violence or sexual intercourse.
But apart from those two factors, which are main contributors to WTF, I think everything else it fills up quite nicely. It does do lots of weird shit, if you know what I mean. But it was no gore. But it did have monsters, but no gore, which is. I think creativity took a lot of the points of that, but it does deduct some from WTF. So I'm thinking maybe either 6 or 7.
I think it's 6.
But we did have talking plants.
Alright, 7.
Yeah. So that is 26.
Sure is.
7 plus 3 plus 9 plus 7 is 26.
Perfect. Not terrible.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's quite a low score for some high scores, if you know what I mean. We've got 2 7s and a 9. It's, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It was a weird way of wording that, but yeah.
Very
Got
tight.
some low scores for some high scores. High scores for some low scores.
I found like it's like an Elton John song.
Yeah.
Got some high scores.
No, I was just shocked how quickly. I'm just in shock because everything happened so quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was like, that's his journey. I thought the next few, like, there were going to be at least a few episodes of him doing his journey, what was going to happen. Turned out just the Odyssey, basically.
But next episode, we got a lot happening with Aeneas. It's very exciting.
I hope he's going to go and do his own thing.
What do you think's going to happen?
I think he's going to marry Dido. They're going to have babies, and then he's going to start a war with someone.
What kind of what face am I doing right now?
You're doing like a guy that's pretending he doesn't know anything, shrugging his shoulders.
Pretending, yeah, pretending not to know anything. Oh, thank you so much for listening, dear listener. We're going to do the social media in 20 seconds on the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go for it, Dan.
You can follow us on social media, Twitter and Facebook at Miss Podcast. You can email us, misspodcast@gmail.com, or you can go on the Miffsters page on Facebook. Very good.
You can also give us a donation through Patreon or Ko-fi on the episode links below, and also give us 5 stars on iTunes, please. We very much appreciate it. Share with a friend, and also love and be kind to each other. There we go, 20 seconds.
Nice.
That's nice, wasn't it?
High five.
Now, let's spend 20 minutes talking about how good we were just then. Well, yeah, thank you so much for listening. It's been great to have you here. And we'll see you next week for part 4 of the Aeneid. Dan, any final words?
Yes, Matt, look at my tan lines from Morocco.
Ooh, very nice. See you next week.
Bye.
Miffs, 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 Miffs.
Because you went to Morocco.
Should we shut my door in case like a big lorry comes past the window?
He's a man with a lorry sound, but not you, lorry.